What did I just do?
I don't know. You moved something.
Oh, shoot. I think we're live.
Are you serious? Cut it off. I don't think we should do this live. Are you sure?
I got to see if we're live.
What are we live on?
YouTube.
Oh, how can you see?
I'm going to go to my channel.
Oh my gosh. Hi, y'all, if we are. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy.
Oh, yeah, we're live.
How can you tell? Oh.
YouTube. Yeah, we are live. Hey, everybody.
Hey. How can you see?
So this is the first time we've ever gone live.
Are you going to play that? That's talking. Hi, y'all, if we are.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I hear I hear that.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Okay. You can't hear it now, though.
Oh, because it's playing. You're going to leave that up like that? Okay, it's fine.
I'll move it down to a different window.
No, it's fine. You can leave it cut. Well, I might look at it.
Yeah, you're going to look at it.
Yeah, I am. Let me. Okay.
Welcome back. I'm Heath.
I'm Bernie.
And it's the Heath and Bernie show. Yeah.
Yep.
What's up, everybody?
We're still doing that.
We are back in the building.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And today's episode, we're going to talk about what shut us down in 2024. What shut the podcast down? There were some things that happened, and we're going to talk about it. And then we have some big announcements at the end, so stay tuned. We're going to change some of the content that we're doing. And so let's get started. So what had happened was it all started back in October of 2023.
Yeah.
It was our anniversary.
Yep.
And Bernie got a phone call.
We were on
an email.
We were on an anniversary trip in the RV.
We were on an anniversary trip in the RV.
I didn't get an email. I got a text.
You got a text.
From the family group text.
And this is what happened. But there is Montgomery County, PG County, like Beltsville, Calverton,
Yeah.
Briggs, Cheney. That's Montgomery County. And that's like sometimes right on the line.
Okay, wait,
Any
hold
update?
on. Yeah. St. Roch Hospital's in Hayward. Got it. I'll do my best to give you Africa. Did you tell Mama we need them? Yeah, spoke to her a while ago. She prayed with me on the phone. Y'all keep praying. I have not seen her yet. Okay, that was easy.
So.
Oh wait, I didn't see this. Hey everybody, Brenda is going to be admitted to ICU. I have not seen her yet, but I'm still in waiting room. They are asking if I can go back to see her. Brenda calling me?
And that's what happened. So Bernie, you want to share what happened in 2023?
So in 2023, in October, we were, as you can see, we're outside on a trip for our anniversary.
Yeah, we recorded that podcast on that day, and we ended up posting it later.
Yeah, and my we have a family group text, and I got a family group text from my sister. Can I say where I'm originally from?
Where are you from?
I'm I don't know.
Right. Right.
See, this is live.
What is that?
I don't know.
This is a secret.
I don't know.
Don't tell nobody.
Anyway, I'm really from California. But anyway, I got a text from my sister from California saying that my other sister had an emergency incident. And to make a long story short, that she went to it for a routine procedure and ended up, she was over medicated and ended up in a coma.
We don't need these anymore.
Oh, okay. So that, and then I had got that message earlier in the RV. And so I was still, that's why I had my phone on the table, because we were still recording and we were still talking about, because we were on our trip. So I was just waiting to get information. And then that's when you saw me say, oh, they admitted her to the ICU. So that happened October 2023. And so she was in a coma from that incident, because she was over medicated during this procedure for like 10 months. So But let me back up because I need to talk about the elephant.
Okay, talk about the elephant in the
I
room.
need to talk about the elephant in the room
Come on now.
because when the elephant in the room is, oh my gosh, all that meat on my face, Jesus. Anyway, when we first started the podcast, we talked about we was going to be doing some healthy things, and I talked about getting that 3-year COVID cushion off of me.
Right.
Well, that is when I first started, and as you can see, I've been working hard, y'all. Anyway, so I've been working hard, and thank goodness because I could see the difference in over a year. I've been.
You want to talk about? Well, we're talking. I don't know if you want to talk about
what I've been doing.
Not what you've been doing, but like the journey and what that was like, because that might be something.
It's so ongoing. It hasn't stopped. I'm still, I work out 3 days. I work out basically every day. I go to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I do my own thing with my YouTube videos. People I like, I follow them, and I don't. The main thing is I don't eat sugar and I don't eat white flour. So mostly.
I eat those.
Yeah, he eats all the things.
But I've been having
all the things, and then when he do
issues.
too much,
yeah,
then he just shut everything down.
I think Christmas I did a little bit too much. I did a little bit too much on Christmas, and I had to like fast for 2 days because my body was like, "Dude, what is you doing?"
It's your pattern. You do too much, and then your side hurt, and then you be like, and you shut everything down.
Right. That's exactly what we did.
But anyway, so it's ongoing with my health journey.
Right.
I'm still working on that. I got a ways to go, but I can see how far I've come looking at that darn video. Whew, Jesus. Anyway, so my sister, back to the story. My sister was in a coma for 10 months. So that was in 2023, and in 2024 so I had went home for 3 months back to California because we needed somebody to be in the hospital the whole time. So I would relieve my other sister who is there in California. Then I would go home. My brother would go. 6 of us, so we would take turns going and being with her in the hospital while she's in this coma. And then in August. Wait.
Did you when you left? Well, I wanted to say like we got that was on a Tuesday. That was on a Tuesday.
We got that call on
this
a
is
Tuesday.
like this is our anniversary, our actual anniversary.
We were away on an RV trip in Delaware when we got that call. So that was on a Tuesday. And then when we came back, it was on the 10th, actually.
Yeah.
That incident happened on the 10th.
On our anniversary.
Yeah, on the anniversary. And then
we got the call on Tuesday, and then
on Friday, I was up on a plane.
Yeah. Friday, Friday you were on a plane. And
with a one-way ticket to California, and I just packed a big, because I didn't know what was going on. We didn't know what was going on, and I didn't know how long or whatever I was going to be there. So I just went with a one-way ticket to California, and I was actually there
almost 3 months.
3 months. I came back in December.
Right.
Me and Heath never been apart that long. That was. I know that's very challenging for him because we've never. And actually, I've never been home since I left home. When I went away to school and never went back home. But I would be home. I would go home all these years. But I have never been back home that long since I left home in my 20s.
I mean, why would you? That's almost 3 months.
That's I'm just saying time. That was a lot. I mean, I'd be home to visit, but I ain't never been home that long. It was interesting. But anyway, so I was getting ready to get to 2024.
Yeah.
So I was going back and forth. And then in August of 2024, my sister passed. So then we had to shift gears and deal with that. And I actually had a niece. My niece was getting married in September, so I was planning to go back out and do my 2-week stay. I was going out earlier to the wedding to do my stay in the hospital, and then I was going to stay after the wedding to do the other week in the hospital to relieve my other sister. But she passed before the wedding, so then I already had my ticket for that stay, so I had to change that all around.
Right.
And then I had to go to the funeral in earlier on in September, I think, is when we went. Yeah, September 6th.
Right. So the passing of your sister.
Yeah.
In August. No, it was
It was August.
It was August.
We had the funeral in September, early September.
It was passing, that kind of like podcast, because we had recorded our last podcast in end of July. We posted it in August.
Oh,
And so we normally go up to like October. That's what I was planning on going up to, like October, record our last podcast in September, and then stop for October, November, December. But then,
well,
that kind of got all shut down.
yeah, and because my sister was in a coma for 10 months, so we are still. She's single. She has a dog, but she had she had her own salon. She was an entrepreneur, had her own business
Right.
for like 30, I think over 30 years. She had retired because she worked for. I mean, when I was in high school, she worked for the phone company. And then she retired later on, and then she always had this shop, this beauty salon called Beautiful by Design. Anyway, she had this shop for years. So my point is, while she was in this coma, we are still taking care of her financial obligations, and because we were praying, believing that the Lord was gonna do a miracle
Right.
and turn things around and wake her up and have her go into rehab or whatever. But that's not. He had the final say. That wasn't the plan, and um, it was just a lot going on because we was still dealing with all what she wasn't married or anything, and she doesn't have kids, but she still had a lot of financial obligations, trying to keep the shop going. My niece does hair there, so she was doing her clients and my sister's clients and her clients. And my sister was kind of like she was the second to the oldest, and so she was kind of like our second mom,
The matriarch of the
yeah.
family at this time.
Yeah, because my mom passed about 15 years ago, but she was the one that my mom would leave us with her, and she was the one always had to like take care of us or whatever. So it was just like it's a big deal. It's like losing the second mom,
Right.
again. So it's just been a lot going on in 23 and 24,
But
and then
the family your family really came together. I mean, the process of managing Brenda's affairs. Did we say her name?
I think so.
Oh, process of managing Brenda's affairs
I don't know.
was a huge family collective effort, and so I applaud y'all for doing that. And
Yeah.
everybody put in.
Yeah.
That was a lot of work. So
Everybody was pitching in and help pay and do whatever
Yeah.
needed to be done. I mean, that's what family do. We just come
Right.
together. What needs to happen, you just make it happen.
Yeah. So that's what was happening on your family. On
Yeah.
my side, so my dad was in cancer remission back since 2018.
Right.
And back then, he was 82. So you get cancer at 82, that might be fatal. But he made it through, and it was good. He didn't have any symptoms. The chemo and the radiation treatments were relatively easy for him. He didn't lose his
flew
hair,
through
didn't get
that.
sick, did nothing like that. So around May of last year, he started feeling a little bit of discomfort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
in his throat again.
Right. And he was like, this is the same feeling I had when I had cancer 6 years ago. So we restarted the process of, okay, let's go find out if this is it. But now 6 years later, you're 88, or you're 87 at the time. And because he has some mobility issues, he's in a wheelchair now. I had to take him to all of the appointments because previously I would go with him to the appointments.
Yeah.
But
He was driving himself 5 years ago and taking himself to his own appointments at one most of the time.
because he was going to radiation in Georgetown, but he had to go every day. And so he would drive 4 days a week, and then I would take him on the day that I was off work. But this time, when his new radiation treatment, we had to get a whole bunch of tests done,
Right.
and a whole bunch of things, and see a whole bunch of different doctors, and it was a lot to get his.
Just to even get the diagnosis, it's ridiculous. Y'all pray for the healthcare system. It is the worst. I'm sorry.
He got initially diagnosed, and we started feeling some kind of way. He started feeling some kind of way in May. It wasn't until June that we got the confirmation, and then it wasn't until like September when they were able to actually schedule him for his treatments.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, they had
I think it's later.
Yeah, it was later than that. It
Because
wasn't
he
until
had
like October.
Yeah, because they had to do like 6 weeks into like Thanksgiving or
Yeah.
something.
It wasn't until October they was able to schedule him for his treatment. So then now we had to figure out how we're going to get him down to the hospital
Oh my gosh, yeah.
in Georgetown
Every day.
5 days a week for treatments in the middle of the day.
Mm.
And I was like, I got to
Jesus.
work, and I'm not going to put that on Bernie to try to get down there. So Bernie found a transportation company.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad she did that because I don't know how we was going to do it. This is when you have to know the Lord. See, when the
I started
anointing,
researching.
when the anointing is on your life, and God said He provides all your needs.
Yes, God.
Sure enough, He did not. If he did not provide our need for that, so
Yeah.
we were able to find him a transportation company, and then thankfully we were able to get. We were able to get some clients, and then I was able to get some podcast production work that we were able to make some extra money, and
Yeah,
then we were able
because-
to afford the transportation costs every day.
Every day, yep.
Which ended up being a totally like a home mortgage payment.
Right, because he doesn't live.
Yeah.
He had to go to Georgetown, and he lives in Silver Spring
Right.
every day. You know.
So that was a lot.
Yeah.
And so, but now that he's made it out of that, and that ended in November, and so now he's still in the treatment process. We're still trying to find out where the cancer is, and we haven't done the last test yet, but. That process kicking off in September, October, November, that really was like, okay, with Bernie's family, with the passing.
It was a
and
double
then with
whammy.
My dad, I was like, yeah, we're not doing no podcast. I don't know when we're going to get to this thing again. we just going to be out here. We just going to be out. So that was a lot of stuff that was going on.
Right.
But as you can see, we are back at it at the beginning of the year. We tried to do this podcast on the 1st.
Yeah, last week.
But
Was it last week?
The devil doesn't like me, and we had some technical issues. I'm not gonna go into it, but nonetheless, we were able to resume our podcast. But we do have some big changes coming up. We have some big things that we're gonna be doing in 2025 that we wanted to make y'all aware of. One is this thing right here. We'll be streaming because
he wanted to do it live. I was like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah. I wanted to, let me get my notes. I wanted to start streaming because...
That's what they call it, streaming?
Yeah, you're streaming. Because we want to take advantage of the technological advances that are happening online. And streaming is a much easier process. There's much less, there's no editing.
You don't have to edit. That's why I got to be careful because I need to watch. I don't really like streaming because I got to really, really watch what I see.
Look at the camera.
I'm looking.
You were looking up there.
I go back and forth. But I got to watch what I say because there's no editing and you can't edit stuff out. I got to be careful.
Right. But I don't edit your stuff out anyway.
You
if
don't?
anything, I edit my stuff out.
Well, I try to be mindful at all times.
Right. So the editing process for me was becoming too cumbersome.
It's a lot.
I was spending more than twice the amount of time editing than I was pre-production and production of the actual podcast. And I enjoyed it because I was like, ooh, this is some good content. We had the different camera angles. Oh.
But it was good practice for you because sometimes you did editing for other
we had
podcasts.
different camera angles, so I would be looking at the camera like that, and then I would just switch it without having to touch a button because I would do it in post. I would do it in post production, or I get Bernie with the camera angle like that. Look at the camera right there, and then I would have to switch it. So it was to me, the quality of our production was really, really good, and the
You're
audio
really
was
good at it, even though you don't like it. Because even when you made that big story you made in your house music thing, and those people it was like a wonderful story. You went to that thing. It was like, who did this video? You're really good at it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I want to do more of that. Then I want to do the recordings, the editing of podcasts. But I still want to do our podcast. And so that, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So the transition of our podcast to being a live recording is one of the things that I wanted to do because I want to take advantage of the new online communities that people be having online. Like I look at Hardly Initiated, and I look at
Are they
podcasts.
live all the time?
They're live.
Oh, all the time?
Not all the. I think they are live all the time.
I think so. Oh, okay.
And then I look at podcasts like Tim Ross.
He's live all the time.
Sometimes he's live. He'll do a live show. Tim Ross in the Basement. He'll do a live show, but he may also do a recorded show. But the communities that they have set up where people support them and people, he found some people that find value in what it is that they share. And so I'm like, we already have that offline. We have communities that we
Yeah.
pour into offline. We've been doing that for years. One of the initiatives that we created several years ago, maybe it was before the pandemic, is called Kingdom and Community.
Oh yeah.
And it's essentially an initiative or a vision where you build a community that helps you build your kingdom. You build a community that helps you build your kingdom. And so what I was doing was I was infusing myself into.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I was infusing myself into the
Let me just turn it
communities,
down.
and I was helping them build their kingdoms. And I was just we were doing multiple things with other couples. Let me see where are my notes. Oh, so one of the things that I worked with this company called Elevation Global Media Group. I worked with them for 3 years and was helping them with their. It's a media production company, and so I was helping them. I became
did
the
a lot with them.
COO,
Yeah.
and that's when I started producing podcasts. I produced their podcast.
Yeah, you got a lot of your equipment during that time too.
Yeah. I also helped a friend of ours, Rob and Chloe. They were here on our podcast.
Oh yeah, they were guests.
He did a podcast. He has a nice following on Twitter, and he does a I produced his podcast. That's when I first started doing it.
Right. What was the name of his?
It was called Self Triggered.
Really?
Yep. Self Triggered podcast. So I did his podcast, and then there was a couple that was transitioning out of their career that was going into full-time ministry and moving at the same time while their children were in like high school and stuff like that. So that was like regarding a life event, when you're going to change careers in mid-career and move while your kids are in school, that's a big deal. So I was like, let me help you with that. And so I helped them build their business and help them pitch the idea to the company that they were moving to, and basically I didn't get her the job, but I helped them create the presentation that they wanted to pitch to get the job. And then they went down there and made the presentation, and then they got the job and they moved and did all the things.
I remember. I was wondering who you were talking about, but I got it.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we did. What else did we do? Mentoring stuff. Then we also started producing the Heath and Bernie Show, the podcast. And so those initiatives were all a part of this new branding idea that I had for our family, which is Kingdom and Community, where we actually jump in there and help people try to build a community that's helping them build their kingdom.
You also had, like, when you first started Kingdom and Community, you started meeting with a group of guys and was trying to, do you remember that?
Yeah, we
I don't know if that.
So that's an interesting point, because we started that in November. And what I realized after that is that don't start anything in November. Because it was like, you got Christmas, you got Thanksgiving and Christmas and the holidays. A lot of stuff. And it just was not feasible. So we started it, and we had some guys that were down with me, and it was just like,
weren't consistent.
I wouldn't even put it on them.
Okay.
It was on me, because it was a lot for me to try to push on them during a holiday season. And they were newly married, had families and stuff like that. So I was like, no, we're not going to do that again.
Yeah.
So the Kingdom and Community portion of it is one of the things that I wanted us to focus on now. And as we begin to do that locally, I wanted to now spread that to the online community. So one of the things that we're doing is this podcast, and we're transitioning a little bit of that to the online space in terms of streaming, but also to take advantage of the technology that is taking place with AI. The whole arena of podcasting, the whole arena of how you provide content for people has changed. And so people can get information for free online all the time with AI, with YouTube University.
I needed AI so bad before I retired.
Yeah, you
so
did.
Sad I missed it.
But with all the things that are available now, you can go online and get information, but you cannot find community. You can find it online, but you cannot research community. That's something that you have to experience individually, and you cannot research or get what's the other thing? The help to implement some of that information that you get online. And so one of the things that we're bringing back to the online space is the courses and curriculums and programs that we used to offer Offline.
Oh, offline
Yeah.
when we were doing the boot camp.
Right.
That's what you mean by bring back. You mean
Yes.
just bringing it back, but online.
Yes.
Because people were asking, like, do we still do the
Right.
things at the boot camp and all the stuff we did at
And for those of y'all who don't know, we used to do a we call it relationship boot camp because we worked with married couples and pre-married couples to do a whole bunch of team building activities,
obstacle
and,
courses
yeah.
on our property, but we since have retired
Yeah,
that.
we retired that in 2017, and then we kind of like pulled back after we moved. After the move in 2022, we moved and we shut down. We came here. We like stopped working with couples. We were like,
Somewhat.
yeah,
We let a few
stopped
in.
advertising. We stopped advertising and we stopped like taking new clients because we just retired.
Right, but then some of them slipped in because they had emergencies.
Yeah, we worked with the ones who we had worked with previously, or
We
if
had
you
a
were a
new-
referral.
Yes,
If
because
you
we
were a
had some new
referral
people.
that needed some help, then we would work with you. And so, but we weren't promoting the stuff that we used to do online.
It was a cry. It was a
yeah,
call.
yeah. So, but since we've been online, people have reached out to us. Like Murray said, we had somebody reached out. They saw us do a segment on premarital counseling and what that really is, and she was like, yeah, y'all do premarital counseling? Because me and my fiance looking to get something. We were
Yeah.
like, no, no, we don't do it. But that's one of the things that we are going to start doing again.
Yeah.
And we also,
And we had some people from when we did the marriage retreat.
yeah.
Some people reached out for us from there too as well.
Yeah. So when we started taking on like new clients a little bit, we were like, we need to find a way to do the Kingdom and Community approach online. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be relaunching our relationship boot camp. Now our premarital boot camp.
There you go.
There we go. The premarital boot camp is fire. I'm not going to hold you because we talk about the things that.
I like premarital people.
Yeah. Why do you like premarital people?
Because they're married folks, you got to try to get them to undo stuff. Premarital, they just all new and excited. They don't know what
Full
they're
of
getting.
hope.
Yeah, they don't know what they're getting into.
Zeal and vigor.
Yeah. They don't have they only got to undo themselves.
Right.
Not the stuff they done jacked up together. Anyway, see, I'm talking too much. Okay, go ahead.
No, that's true. That's true.
You know what I mean?
But we with the premarital boot camp, I wrote down this. Let me read it. We help people discover the exciting potential of what marriage will look like in your relationship.
Yeah.
And if you still want to move forward, then we will teach you exactly how to build that relationship from the ground up.
If you should move forward.
If you want to move forward. Because see, there is an equation that works for your marriage, for your relationship, not even marriage. There's an equation that works for your relationship. And what happens is people try to use another equation that doesn't work, or equation that they think should work, or the equation that worked in the last, or the equation that failed in the last relationship.
Or the equation is not equaling. Like 1 + 1 is not equaling 2.
Yes.
And you still marching. But what's irritating, the problem is, that person is sitting up there saying everything that they are, and you still marching toward it.
But you don't believe them.
I don't know
Anyway.
why. Anyway, but so that's why I said if you still want to move
Right.
forward, because everybody should not move forward. I mean,
I agree
there's
and cannot disagree.
if some people would have listened.
Stop it.
Okay.
Stop it.
All right.
Stop it.
This is live. Stop.
Stop.
I don't like streaming. Anyway,
but we're gonna do that. So we don't have anything that we're gonna be announcing right now, but we're gonna start announcing. We're gonna start planning for when we want to announce those that class that course, and we can do it online. It's gonna be fun. And then
that should be fun.
one of the other things that we're going to do is we're going to launch some what I call mini courses or micro lessons. And what I write down, the mini courses are
You were right on it.
I know, but I changed the wording, but I don't remember what I changed it to. So let me just read what I have here. Provide quick wins for specific problems. That's
Yeah.
a mini course, and provide quick wins for a specific problem. And it's not going to be like a long 6-week joint. It's going to be like a 2-week, 3 weeks at the most. And there's going to be homework in between that you do, and you follow up and be accountable for the things that you're supposed to do. And another one is another mini course or a mini lesson, a micro lesson, is we're going to do deep dives in very nuanced topics like what are the 5 areas of security that what are the 5 areas of security that make a woman feel safe?
That's important.
That's it. We could talk about 5 areas of security in a free context, but then we're going to do a deep dive. We probably will begin that. We'll just do a podcast on what the 5 areas of security, but then we're going to do a deep dive in the nuances of it because
it depends because everybody's different.
It's just like exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody's different, and so it looks different. Security looks different depending upon what your background is,
who you are,
like
right. I mean,
your experience with that person.
Yeah, I mean your
triggers.
Right. I mean, security to a woman depends on who the woman is and her background, just like you said. So the trick is a husband learning who he's married to and her triggers for security.
Right. And that's
because it's not the same. That's the problem with when you say you don't like the regular premarital counseling. It's just like a big paintbrush. Like it's how you communicate, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But it doesn't go into the significance of who each person is about these certain big issues, like the umbrella issues that they all talk about.
Right.
But they don't say nothing about it when you go behind that door and you shut the door and you're living together and it's like, wait a minute. This ain't what I signed up for.
And
those nuances, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, the nuances, and I think that's one of the things that I really like delving into, because when we be looking at podcasts, and I'm not throwing shade on other podcasts and stuff, but when we be looking at podcasts, and especially the live ones, and somebody will ask a question to the audience, and then one of the panelists will answer the question, and then you'll hear this from the crowd, ooh, like that's good. And my immediate thought is, yeah, but so and 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 so. There are different dynamics to that make that a good point for that person.
Yeah.
But for another person, that may be a completely different point. And so what is the principle behind the overarching issue that is applicable to everybody?
Yeah.
And that's how we see things, and when we teach, that's how we teach. We say, this is the principle. Now, how you work it in your marriage, in your relationship, in your dating relationship, in your courtship, in your situationship, will determine what security feels like for you.
Because, like I always say, marriage is not a cookie cutter.
You do say that a lot.
It is not. It's different in every house. And until you learn that, well.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing those things. And what we talked about of doing some of the community, the Kingdom and community aspect, we're going to introduce some of the things that we're doing behind a paywall, because information, like I said, you can get for free, but the implementation of that information in the community, there's a fee for that. There's a cost for that. And so that's going to be, the deep dives are going to be behind a paywall. And we're considering doing like a membership type of program where I think a Patreon has a membership kind of program. YouTube has a membership type of program that you pay $5 a month, and then you get access to exclusive content. So that's kind of thing we're going to do, and that allows us to reach more people and then build community within those spaces, because everyone who is interested in learning about these things or getting the information and learning how to implement those things and then being held accountable to the things that you learn so that it works in your marriage is going to be somebody who wants to invest in their marriage. And so that's people that we're looking to connect with.
That's true.
Yeah. What else are we doing? And so because one of the things that we stepped back from when we retired our boot camp. One of the things we stepped back from was so much focusing on the problem solving
yeah.
that couples have, and we wanted to actually not just focus on problems, because some people don't really want to
Well,
have like go sit down and talk about their issues. Some people just want to have fun and want to do fun things.
that's why you said we started the boot camp, because you had a little slogan you used to say, instead of thinking about bills, babies, what was it?
We want to reprioritize fun, because everybody's focused on bills, business, babies, and the Bible.
Yeah. You used to say that all the time when we started this podcast, because we want people to have fun.
Right, because I don't want to focus on bills, business, babies, and the Bible all the time, although we don't have no babies.
Right.
But when that's the focus, then when all you're focusing on that, then your focus and your life becomes about problem solving.
Because everybody marriage don't have a lot of, everybody marriage don't have problems. You just want to
or problems they can't solve.
Right. On their own. They just want to do something together with other married people who want to have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some other people who you don't mind being around for a short period of time, because I know some people are introverts and it's like, okay, let me get in and get out.
That would be me.
So we've been creating events for people in our community. So for my birthday last year, we had the ultimate couples range experience.
That was fun.
And we went to a gun range, and because I'm a very creative person and I like doing fun things, I created
outdoors. He loves outdoors.
Right.
Anything to do with outside.
I created a gun range experience for couples, and I brought water guns to the gun range, and we had it was in the range that we went to.
But that was after we were
woods.
shooting the real guns.
Yeah, we shot the real guns.
But then we had a whole event.
Yeah, I created a scenario where your spouse has been taken captive by the government because you will not submit to the new rule of authority. And now you are being taken to the woods and held in a detention center. And the detainees are protecting and securing your wives. Now you or your spouses, because it was mixed couples.
Yeah, that was
You
fun.
have to now take these water guns, and I bought some electric water guns. The electric water guns were fire.
Then you had like machine gun water guns.
They were all machine guns.
Oh, okay, because they were
like,
shooting.
They were like Desert Eagle. They had AK-47. They had the AR-15 rifles, all water guns.
All right, and we had 2 different teams.
And then I bought these balloons that you just dip in water.
I forgot about those.
And
are the grenades.
Yeah, and so we had grenades. So water balloons were the grenades. And so we were out in the woods, and we created this prison, which is behind a tree.
But the balloons they didn't pop. They just like.
Yeah, they just bust. I mean, because they're reusable. They're reusable balloons.
Those are cool.
So the detention center was behind a tree, and then their spouses had to come, and then if you got shot with the water, hit with the water balloon, you had to go back and touch base. So that was fun in the middle of a gun range. And then we went and shot sniper rifles.
Yeah, that was fun.
So and I've talked to him, and we're definitely going to be doing that again this year.
Yep.
Another things that we've done. What did we do? Our game nights. So when we had our old house.
Yeah, we used to do a lot of those.
Game nights are legendary. Game nights are legendary. Don't sleep on the game nights.
You used to create games in there too.
Yeah, that's what I do. Create
that
games.
is what you do.
So it's not like Taboo.
No. He
or
stuff he makes
categories or Uno.
No catchphrase.
Yeah, no, we're not doing any of that.
No, it's stuff he done made up.
Yeah, we're. I mean, I used to do that with the youth too.
You did do that. Yeah, it's just in you. You've always done that.
Games. We're doing so game nights legendary. So we're going to do some game nights and invite people to come. That's in the community. You've been vetted. And we have So we're going to do that. And then what else we're going to do? Marriage ministry events. So I don't know how we're going to do it. I was talking to somebody at church on Sunday, and she was talking about making 12-week goals. And that's how she's able to stay on track with her business, by making goals for just 12 weeks. And so I was like, okay, all the things that I planned, I can't fit in 12 weeks. So that's going to have to be something that's on another 12-week plan. But one of the 12-week plans I want to do is create a marriage ministry online. Now, Bernie and I are already serving marriage ministry at our church. Mm-hmm. And we ran our marriage ministry at our previous church
our old church.
10 years.
Long time.
Yeah, 10 years, 10, 11, 13 years, a long time.
Yeah, we that marriage.
Right. And
ministry. We had a lot
so
of fun
we
with
did,
them.
we have a lot of experience doing marriage ministries, and I, there's always some aspect of marriage ministry that I want to do with couples that's centered around the principles, the tenets of a marriage and what a Christian marriage should contain. Not that it's a religion or that you have to abide by these rules, but there's certain biblical principles that marriages that marriages should aspire to have, and those biblical principles can be the center point, that can be the foundation of the marriage ministry. And then how do you manifest, or how do you walk out those biblical principles in your marriage, and get together and we talk about, okay, this is how we did it. This is how we dealt with communication issues. This is how we dealt with conflict or problem solving in our marriage. And then create a small community around that so that we all can learn together.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that's hurting a lot of couples right now is the isolation that they have, that this is what we're doing and we're going to do it by ourselves.
Yeah. Isolation is big.
I'm thinking about a group of couples that we know a lot of them are struggling.
Yeah.
But the struggle was managed when the community
we used
was
to get
fortified.
together. Yeah.
It was managed when it was fortified, because you had a group where everybody had the same goals.
There was an outing where they could come together
Yeah.
and just kind of, when people would share, it's like, it was very helpful to everybody within the group to either learn or look at themselves or whatever. It was,
and you got to hear other people's struggles or strategies to find out what actually worked for them, and be like, okay, let's do that. And then we did
or not do that, because remember, everything don't work. It's not a cookie cutter.
True.
But go ahead.
Or you'd be like, I'm glad we don't do that.
Right. You do have those moments.
That's what we used to do in our marriage ministry.
Yeah, we like
not when we were over it, but when we were in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just starting learning. You saying, Gary, say something. You said remember something. I heard the phone. I wonder if somebody talking about.
No.
Did somebody send you a message?
Mm-mm.
Oh. I was just curious. Somebody might say the sound's not working or something.
Oh, dag, I wonder if it sounds working.
No, it probably. That's why I was
That'd
like.
be incredible if the sound is not working.
Because sometimes I go
no,
in
it's
there
working.
and I see things and there's no sound and I don't understand why. But I'm always wondering, do they know that there's no sound to this video? But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, the sound is working.
Okay.
Now you made me forget what I was saying.
We were talking about marriage ministry and creating that community.
I was saying that one of the things that we used to do when we were a part of a marriage ministry, we weren't leading it, is when we would hear people's story, we'd be like, I'm glad we don't do that. Like, hey, let's make sure we don't do that.
When we first got married, it was in a marriage.
Right. The struggles. We weren't doing anything at the time. We weren't even doing
but
the boot camp. But it was like, they struggling.
And they been married like 10 years, and we were like, ooh.
We were like 2 years in, we're like, dang. Nah, we good. But it helped us give context to the struggles that people have in marriage.
Yeah.
Because we've been doing this. We've been doing this. This is our 25th year anniversary for being in business, working with couples, being relationship consultants.
Wow.
25 years.
That's
a quarter
a long
of a century.
Time.
We married 25 years. So, we are.
We have seen a lot.
Certified and qualified.
We have
for
seen
real,
a
for
lot.
real. Yeah. We've seen a lot. We've done a lot too.
That's why.
That's why bringing this to the online space, I think, is a good move for us. It allows us to reach a new community.
Yeah.
That's already out there. We just got to tap into it and find out how best we can serve them and do the things. And so we did a singles boot camp one time, but I don't know if we want to do that again. But that may be something that's down the road. But in closing out the marriage ministry thing, I think it'd be good to start a marriage ministry that can be constructed and configured that is helpful for things that we know that couples need to help their marriage, and then do real in-person events. If you out of town, we're gonna do a semi-annual or go to this location, get this resort, whatever, and then hang out and do some fun things. Games is not a problem for me, but fellowship and hanging out, that's we got tons of ideas for that. So that's one of the things that we want to do.
Yeah, we're thinking about doing down the road.
Right. So that's pretty much what we wanted to talk about. We're also going to be doing opportunities for people to give back and help us, not give back, but help us do this. As you can see, there's a lot of events that may be going on, a lot of things we're doing, and there's some cost associated to it. And so in the online space, there are ways that you can give. Like I've turned on this thing on our YouTube page that allows you to donate to our efforts and our cause by hitting the thanks button. If you just go to the right below the link, you'll see a thanks button, and you can give anywhere from $2 up to $500 if you want to
Really?
donate toward us. Yeah.
Wow.
So if you want to support the work that we're doing right now, I really want to. We're not out here begging for money. We're not. But I really want to give people an opportunity to help, because there are people in the online space. Like I look at Hardly Initiated, I look at Tim Ross, I look at some of the podcasts that I follow. People be like, ting, and they be giving money during the live chats. I'd be like, wow, how do they do that? Like how do people end up doing that?
But they be having a lot of people on there too, and
Yeah.
it's talking a lot, good or bad or whatever they be saying. But it's kind of like, it's not drama, but it's like
Right.
stuff people like to hear or don't like to hear, or it's just
Yeah.
So
there's.
But you said something about you want people to give toward a cause, not just because or something.
Right. So when we have a campaign that we're going to be running, like the any of the courses or classes, micro classes. I'm not calling them course because that has a certain feel to it. Is there micro courses or micro lessons, or if we have if we're going to be doing an event and we want people to show up to it online and we need some want to raise some funds for that, then we'll put something out there for you to serve to donate to it. But if you just want to help us out, because we have given so much of who we are, that whole kingdom and community thing. We've given so much of who we are to other people freely, because what we understand about our purpose is that when couples who are struggling in a certain portion of their marriage, when they need help, we are the ones who the Lord sends to help them. That's
right.
That's our ministry, and we're not trying to say we're all like that or anything, but we understand our purpose and what God has given us to do, the work that the calling He's given us to do. And so when we move into space, we're like, okay, God wants us to help these people.
It's always our bottom line is how can we help people with whatever's going on with them, and help people in both spaces, ones with issues and ones to have fun. You know what I mean? Because we get more of the issue people, so we have to make space for people to have fun.
Right. And sometimes we will create an event for people to have fun.
Right.
Because they have so many issues.
Yes, because you just need that darn outlet.
Yeah.
Because it's like.
But we've opened up our home to many people, many times. Because we know that this is a space where people. I remember when I created Millie Connect for Zion. Is millennials that needed a community at church for them to connect. And so I put together I gathered together the millennials who wanted to help create a group. I encouraged them to volunteer and trained them how to volunteer. And then they went ahead and created a whole
where that
space.
all started from?
Yeah.
When Battle preached about millennials not coming to church anymore, and then you called him or talked to him about doing a focus group about his sermon.
Yep.
And then from that focus group, you created that millennial group and gave them all roles, whatever. And out of that came Millie Connect.
Right.
People don't know that though, but it's all right.
Yeah. So it's the kingdom and community
there you go.
Principle. So we've done that. So my point is, we are the ones who have come to the aid and help of others, because that's who the Lord.
And we like doing that.
That's the Lord has sent us to do that.
Yeah.
So if we need help, I'm expecting the Lord to send people to help us.
Oh, there you go.
Because we've sown help and we've sown aid, we've sown money, and so if we need some help doing something, then I'm expecting
Expect
the Lord
There
to
you go.
provide
Yeah.
the way that he does by sending y'all to help us, help y'all. So those are the things that we have planned for 2025. We also, woohoo,
What's the woohoo?
have to move.
I'm not looking forward to that, y'all. I still got PTSD from the last time we moved.
We have to move. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, he wants to move.
Because we like the what we call the landlord.
Yeah, I love Bob.
That rents this house to us. But where we live is...
It's nice, but we need to be closer to his father because of those,
I'm not trying to say the neighborhood's bad, but we live next to a highway that got traffic.
Yeah, it's a two-way highway.
Ridiculously
and there's
busy
traffic
all the
just
time.
because.
Yeah.
It's Saturday, Sunday. It could be a Sunday night at Sunday night afternoon. It don't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It's gonna be
Sunday
traffic
at 8:00 at night and it's traffic.
It doesn't make no sense. And it's a two-way. It's just irritating.
If somebody breaks down, you're in traffic.
Yeah, but there's no breakdown and there's traffic.
Yeah.
So we got to get off.
So
of that.
we need to move closer back down to the Beltway, in the DMV, and I need to be close to my parents because God take them to appointments and stuff like that. So we're gonna be moving. Thank God.
That's a lot.
So I don't know how we're going to do all this in the podcast during that time frame, but what we're looking for is a space that has a room for us to do the podcast and has room for us to do some small events.
This place was just like a respite from where we came from.
This was the wilderness out of Egypt.
The wilderness. This is a respite.
The wilderness was a respite out of Egypt.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They spent 40 years there.
Yeah, but because
they ain't have no faith.
Yeah.
But we're not doing that.
No. This was just a nice place to let's sell the house and get here, and then we'll figure out the rest later. Which is what we're doing now.
So from here on out, we're going to be doing this podcast live on Wednesdays at 8:00.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yep. That's what we're doing.
Yep. That way I don't have to edit, and then we can just post these online, and then y'all will see them when you see them. If you want to come online and chat with us, please do, because, that would be kind of cool. I don't know how to do that yet. I don't even know if the chats are turned on.
Can you do that?
The chats are turned on, but I don't know.
So people could come on and ask us questions and stuff?
Yeah, if I know how to do it. But, this was the first test. I'm gonna look back at it and see.
Be careful what you ask for, because remember those. Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, a chat's a chat. When you're on this is the internet. That's one thing that gets me. One of the videos that we did about dear future wifey dude, Laterris Whitfield, who I'm not gonna say I love, but I do like his podcast.
We like his podcast.
Like him.
I think people got the wrong idea.
When he shot a shot at Essence Atkins, we did a whole episode about that, and we joned on him because his shot was weak.
That's what we were talking about.
Yeah. And we then told him, okay, bro, you should go back at it again, circle the block.
I don't think he should.
And this is how you should do it.
Yeah.
But people, when we put clips of it up, shorts of it up, people were in the DMs.
Because they thought we did not like his show
how
and all that.
How can you talk about the man of God like that?
Oh, my God.
I'm like, so I'm fine with people disagreeing with me. It does not bother me at all. But what I had to address is they came on my internet page, YouTube page, and chastised me for talking about a man of God. But I was like, you're doing the same thing to me. You're chastising me because I chastised somebody else. So you're doing to me what I did to Laterris, but you're talking about me like I did. Stop it.
But
Don't
they didn't
do that.
watch the whole video, because had you seen the whole thing, you saw at the end, it wasn't that we don't like his podcast. That's not true.
We watched one yesterday. I watch them all the time, in fact, when he has good guests there. So, but my point about the internet is that when you're on the internet, everybody has an opinion.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen.
People's opinions are supposed to be shared. That's what the internet is.
Yeah.
So we're not. I'm not concerned about the chat and what people be saying. It is what it is. I be saying stuff too, so I can give it like I take it. Pause. So on Wednesday nights at 8:00, tune in if you're watching this. You don't have anything, do you?
I'm just trying to make sure.
Okay. We got everything set up. It took a long time to do that, but we're going to try this out to see how this works. And then if we have some things coming up, we will let y'all know. We also will be definitely planning some things, so we'll definitely let you all know when we have things coming up. And if you want to support us, if you just want to share, be a blessing, you can go ahead and hit the thanks on the videos. That all the videos now have the little thanks button.
Oh,
So if you want to be a
okay.
blessing, then you can go ahead and do that. We definitely would appreciate it. When we start putting out things that we have initiatives for, then we definitely will be promoting those. And we will definitely let you all know when we have when we start our premarital boot camp and our other courses and stuff like that. Okay.
That's it.
All right, y'all. Thank you.
Peace.
We out. Bye.
Bye.
Stop recording.
Did it stop?
Stop streaming.
How long
What
was
does that
that?
say?